Hey guys, Martin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so it is the night before Dragon Ball Heroes launching on both versions of the game. I say the night before, obviously depending on where you are in the world, it's either dropping late in the evening or very, very early in the morning. The banner drops at 6 AM for me, so I will be live streaming my summons. If you are on PST time in America, I'm pretty sure it's like, is it 10 PM? And then if you're on EST, it's like 1 AM. So people from around the world, let us know down below so other people can see, comment what time it is in your time zone, because maybe that'll help out somebody else. But yeah, it's dropping at 6 o'clock in the morning for me. I will be streaming, so make sure you guys come and check it out. I will be going until we rainbow all of the new units, which isn't as whaley as it would normally be on another banner, because obviously it is guaranteed featured unit per summon. So as always, before banners come out, I do one of these videos going over your options when it comes to summoning or skipping the banner. As I always say in these videos, if you are a whale or somebody who's kind of already decided that you want the units, then obviously me saying in this video that you shouldn't summon is probably not going to change your mind. This is more for those people who are free to play or spend a little bit here and there and are just trying to decide whether or not they want to summon. So these are all the new units. It's the top two rows apart from the int first unit here, the free to play Lags. She is the farmable unit from the Dokkan event, but the new units and the units that will be on the banner, because the units that are awakening are on the banner, are obviously Tech Black Janemba, or Reconstructed Janemba I think he's actually called, Golden Metal Cooler, Hearts, Corrupted Supreme Kai of Time, Rebel, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, and then Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So those are the 9 featured units on the banner, and as I said already, each multi-summon is guaranteed featured. So if you decide to throw a couple of multis at the banner, you are guaranteed to get as many of the featured units as you do multis for. Now, obviously that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get the ones that you specifically want, so that's where you kind of have to roll the dice, right? Now, also on this banner, of course, all of the SSRs on the banner are Dragon Ball Heroes units. So if we bring up last year's banner, all of these units are going to be in the pool of SSRs that you can pull from this banner. And that's it. There's no other SSRs, there's no general pool, no non-heroes units, so you can only pull these SSRs, and then the SRs and Rs are just the normal ones, because there are no heroes ones. Now, the difference as well with this banner is there is a different split between featured units and unfeatured units. So, obviously, the last unit of the multi is always going to be one of the featured units, but any bonus SSRs that you pull, you have more of a chance of them being featured than unfeatured. So the unfeatured units, which is all these other ones that are not the main 9, they are obviously much harder to pull, but they are there in the banner. So you can pull them potentially, but you're more likely to pull copies of the featured units. So this is one of those banners where if you get like a god animation, you know you're in for something interesting, because you're getting at least 3 SSRs in that multi, and they are all going to be heroes units. And as I said, they're more weighted towards featured. So somebody out there is going to get a god animation on their first multi and pull Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta and Hearts all in that first multi, which, I mean, that'd be pretty damn good. Now, when it comes to this banner, obviously the rainbow showcases are out from people that have done the private servers. I don't know how good some of these units will be at 55%. I definitely can imagine that some of them will be a little bit underwhelming. So if you're somebody who is thinking about maybe just throwing a few multis at the banner, obviously be aware that if you only get the units at 55%, they're obviously not going to be as good as Rainbow. I mean, that should be obvious. That applies to every unit. But the thing is, a lot of these units are tied to the Heroes team. So if you pull Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku, for example, and you only pull 1 copy, whilst you can use him on a couple of different builds, I made a tweet earlier, because obviously there are Heroes and full power units on a bunch of different teams. But he is quite restricted when it comes to team building, and he is only going to be at 55%. And as an int unit, it means he gets level 5 dodge as his hidden potential, and then you can give him a bronze and silver skill orb, and then that's kind of all you have to work with. So these units, I feel, are way, I mean, again, this applies to every unit in the game, right? But these units are, I feel, very dupe reliant for them to actually be as good as we would like them to be. Because when it comes to the heroes team, I've already talked to people who've been using the private server. If you make a full heroes team with the new units, with the easy A's and stuff like that, you can beat all of the existing content. All the red zone stages, sell max, all of that stuff. The heroes team is good enough to do that. But that's the people using the private server. All of the units are rainbowed in those instances. So that's something you have to think very hard about. If you can only afford the stones to do a couple of multis, you're probably not going to be walking away with rainbow copies of the units. So that is something that you definitely have to think about. Now, the other thing that you have to think about as well is the units that are going to be getting easy A's, which is obviously these guys down here, the summonable ones at least. You have the Cumber, Supreme Kai of Time, Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Fu, Golden Cooler, Sealess, and then Great Saiyaman 3. These guys will have their own separate banner, the Easy A banner, just like last year. It should be, as I haven't seen confirmation yet, but this is how it worked last year, where the first 3 multis are 30 stones instead of 50, and that banner is guaranteed featured as well. So one thing you have to weigh up is if you want some of the Easy A units, you're more likely to pull them on the Easy A banner because they are featured and it's guaranteed featured. But you do have to be aware that they are in the pool for the normal banner. So what I would recommend doing, if you do want to summon on both, because you want the new units and you want to try and pull some of the Easy A units as well, I would definitely try doing a few multis on the main banner first, because let's say you do your first few multis trying to pull the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, you might pull Super Saiyan 3 Goku, who was the main unit you wanted from the Easy A banner, and then you wouldn't necessarily have to summon on the Easy A banner. So you have to weigh up your options very carefully. For people who do spend money on the game, there is also going to be the grey stone, again, like last year. The way this works is kind of like the purple stone, where you buy a pack of stones and it comes with the grey stone as well. I think it was around $30 last year. Obviously, I don't know exactly whether it will be the same this year or whether it will be slightly different. Last year, you were able to get 2 of them, and you can trade those in for a grey, for a hero's unit of your choice. Now, going by the list, they show Super Saiyan 4 Vegito on the art, so every unit that was released up to him should be available with the grey stone, which will be all of the units on this page except for the top row. So actually, yeah, if I scroll down like this so you can't see the top row, it should be all of these units should be available with the grey stone. So again, that's something, because you purchase it, you obviously want to make sure you do all of the summons that you're going to do on the banners first, be that the main banner or the Easy A banner. Make sure you are completely done summoning, and then you can use the grey stones, because obviously you don't want to use the grey stone to buy a copy of, like, again, we'll use Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku as an example, and then you end up pulling multiple copies of him from the banner, and then you could have got somebody else with the grey stone instead. So if you do spend money on the game, I would definitely recommend getting those, because they come with stone packs anyway, right? So you could, even if you're not going to summon a lot on the banner, you can use those, like, save those stones for something later, but you get the grey stone, which you can then use to buy a hero's unit. I might do a separate video about which units I think are best to buy with the grey stone. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in down below in the comment section. So the biggest thing that comes down to, I think for most people with the question summon or skip, one of the things you have to think about is what is coming up in the future. So if we take a look at last year's timeline, Heroes started at the end of November, like it is now, a couple of days earlier, but basically around the same time frame. And then we move into December, and literally on the 3rd of December, which is what, 2 weeks away, another Dokkan Fest came out. Now, actually, we should probably look at 2020, because this was the year where the a Dokkan Fest came out at the beginning of November, and then the Tanabata LR came out in December, because that's what's going to be happening this year, because we didn't get Vegeta and Trunks in November. So in this time slot, which was the 4th of December both years in a row, if we take a look at the calendar quickly, the 4th of December is a Sunday, so it's probably going to be either the 5th or maybe Friday the 2nd. This is where LR, Trunks and Vegeta are going to come out. So that is something that you guys obviously need to bear in mind for the future. The fact that LR Trunks and Vegeta are literally like 2 weeks away from coming out on Global, and are still considered by many people to be the best unit in the game. And then as we got to the end of the year, this was a same time release with JP, but we had the double rates Christmas LR banner. So it's very possible that as Goku, Vegeta and Trunks are releasing in this time slot, it's very possible that the Christmas, well, I say Christmas, it came out middle of December, but it's very possible that this LR banner is the Zamasu banner, LR Merge Zamasu, and potentially will be double rates. So again, you have to really consider December is going to be a month that has a lot of interesting stuff. We also get the actual Tanabata banner itself, which is going to have Vegeta and Trunks on it, as well as both of the 7-year LRs. Now, that banner's kind of bad to summon on, because it has, like, every single Dokkan Fest exclusive in the game, pretty much, including all the old ones. But if we take a look at, it should just be here, right, Year 7. Where is the Trunks and Vegeta celebration? I should have brought this up first, really, shouldn't I? Where is the Tanabata? There we go, Tanabata campaign. Now, the one thing you got to think about when it comes to summoning for Vegeta and Trunks is that their banner is terrible. The AGL Goku Black is okay, but really needs like the 200% team with more buffs for Goku Black and Zamasu units. But he's not the worst unit in the world. And then Gogeta's on here. He can still be pretty useful for the heal and the scouter effect. The Blue Boys, as much as I did grow to like them over the last year or so, like a year or so ago, they've definitely aged out now. Goten and Gohan, obviously, very much aged out in terms of difficult content. They should hopefully get an easy A sometime within the next year, though, which would make them very, very good. And then, like, all of these featured SSRs, apart from maybe Kale and Caulifla, are all pretty bad now, and are essentially awaiting, like, easy A's for these guys at the bottom and STR Kefla. So, the thing is, if you want to save and not summon on heroes because you really want Trunks and Vegeta, you have to very much be aware that their banner is terrible. So, you got to be very careful when it comes to summoning on here. And then if we go back to the celebration, do they have the actual Tanabata Dokkan Fest banner on here as well? Because it comes out in the same celebration, I'm pretty sure, on JP. Is it going to be on here? I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? Because there's the LR banner with Merge Zamasu. Maybe it isn't on here then. Does it appear as a separate thing? Again, I probably should have pulled all of this stuff up before I started recording the video, but there isn't a part 2. But yeah, that banner is not good. So what you have to weigh up is this banner is guaranteed featured per multi, and has units that are pretty good. Some of them will work on other teams, but a lot of them really won't. And you can build a full team with the new units and beat difficult events. So there is a lot of value in this banner, but you do have to be aware these units are not, like, none of them are like the best TURs in the game. I've seen a lot of people arguing that Hearts might be top 10. I don't know, I haven't gotten to use them yet, but it's very possible that none of these units are in like the top 10 or maybe even top 15 TURs in the game. But the banner does have a lot of guaranteed value. Whereas the upcoming banners are going to have units like Trunks and Vegeta and LR Merge Zamasu, but there is nothing guaranteed. You could dump 1,000 stones into both of those banners and not pull those new units. Whereas if you dump 1,000 stones into the Heroes banner, that's what, 20 multis? So even if you get the worst luck possible, you're walking away with 20 featured units. And I mean, I think the chances, if you did 20 multis and you only got the guaranteed featured every single time and no bonus SSRs, that is some pretty bad luck. So that's what you got to weigh up when it comes to your options. Now, in terms of the final verdict, my final opinion, obviously for me, I'm a Heroes fan. I'm very biased. I'm also, you know, kind of basically a whale now, so I'm going to be summoning regardless. But if you're free to play or you don't spend a lot, so you do have to be very careful with your stones. If you really want to summon for them because you like the units, you think they're fun, maybe you did summon on the previous Heroes banner so you can make a solid Heroes team, then, you know, go ahead. At the end of the day, you should summon on the banners you want to summon on. But if you want the most value out of your stones and you don't have a lot of them to play with, I definitely think you're probably better off saving for things in the future, because even despite the stuff we know about, there's the possibility that New Year's could bring Dragon Ball Super superhero stuff, or even early in the new year. You know, if you're on JP, obviously the anniversary is in February, and usually the 2 anniversary LRs are the new best units in the game. So there's a lot of stuff coming up that is potentially going to be very, very good. But this banner, despite not being as higher quality in the units, has a lot of guaranteed value. So let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comment section. I know a lot of people that follow my channel, because I've been pushing it pretty hard, are fans of the Heroes agenda. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys in the comments will be summoning. Let me know what you guys think, and hopefully I will see you at the live stream where we will be summoning, pulling all the new units. I'm going to get them all awakened. I've been saving those link level keys for months now, so I can instantly link level 10 all of the new units. And then we're going to be having a lot of fun taking them into all of the different events. So let me know all of your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.